Hey, it's Brad Parker, Crystal Palace fan, and you are listening to the Drunkard United Football Show. It's a parade.
Why, yes, we are a parade, Sammy. I am back from my cruise, fully recharged, feeling good.
All right.
Wasn't aware that I was such a tyrant. You know, Sammy, I think about it, and I know that you had Festivus, but I had Festivus too. Because, my friend, it was a feat of strength to listen to both those train wrecks. Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am the tyrant Sam Huston, and across the way from me is my indentured servant Samuel Graham.
Oh, fuck off.
Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, and I was mainly just sticking up for my main lady Mel over there.
All I know is I have job security.
Why, yes, you do.
This show runs on Mel.
This show also runs on a mute button that you're about to hit.
See, under my regime,
You know what? I think Russ broke the mute button too. Son of a bitch.
I broke the mute button. I'm a revolutionary. I'm like Che Guerrero, okay?
I think I'm about to break your fucking microphone, so let's find that mute button right quick.
I don't know. While he's raging, can you find some Rage Against the Machine to play us out? Because it's a revolution, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
They say I look like Zach De La Roca.
You know why he's so sassy? He's
Why?
back from vacation. He's tan, and it's his birthday.
That's right. And his nails are still did.
Yeah, my nails are still dead, and it's not my birthday yet. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow.
Well, that is today.
Right.
The
magic
that's
of radio.
right. The magic of radio. Hello, it's currently my birthday.
Behind the curtain, we recorded on Monday night.
Like I said earlier, this show runs on Mel.
And now this show runs on a mute button. Thank you. Jesus. Fuck me Christ. Sorry, Russ. We are recording at Studio H just outside our nation's capital, and you can check us out on all podcast platforms. Be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and most importantly, share with all your footballing friends. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Sammy, why don't you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Absolutely. On all the social medias, we are at DU Football Show, and then dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. We also have a Patreon, ladies and gents, so sign up for that. You have access to extras called Injury Time, which is a show we release every week previewing the next week, and occasionally other stuff that we do.
Our
we
mic
also
check.
do, mic checks, sound check. We also do personalized videos if you have the right tier level about your club once a month to let you know the state of what's going on there, what we think about it. But you can find us there at www.patreon.com/DUFootballShow.
I have a new country shout out.
All right.
So Afghanistan has become a regular listener every week. We have a new country that has 3 downloads average a week. Norway.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Liverpool supporters. And real quick, hey, Sam,
Yes.
just want to let you know, Rob, that is how a professional does it when they need to shout out what the socials are there. Myself and Sam both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Samuel Graham, what are we sipping on
Real
tonight?
quick, to be fair, this is the only part of the show that's somewhat scripted. And I didn't write it into the script, so he was reading the paper, and there was nothing for him to say.
Oh, so the drunk
my fault.
So the
Yeah.
drunk Uber passenger is a shitty bus driver.
Correct.
Thank you for confirming that.
It's my fault.
Go right ahead.
Sure. So tonight we're drinking Dalwhinnie's Winter's Frost.
Vindication for everything.
Comes in at 86 proof. This is part of the Game of Thrones collection from Diageo. It's a non-age statement Highland whiskey. On the tin for this one, they have House Stark. They've chosen Dalwhinnie and paired it with House Stark because it's a Highland, and Stark was the most northern house in the show. Mm-hmm. They recommend putting it in the freezer and serving it chilled, which is sacrilege, so we
Could
didn't
not
do it.
fucking do it.
Nope. Do pour it over ice. Do not put it in the fucking freezer. $39.99 to $44.99 on the shelf, this one.
You know what? Good Scotch for beginner Scotch drinkers. This is really light, really soft, easy drinking, very sweet.
And if you're still in high school, put it in the fucking freezer.
we do not condone underage drinking. Thank you very much. And what else do we do, Sam?
We always drink responsibly.
Holy shit! I set them up, you knock them down.
That's
I love
what
it.
I'm saying.
All right, kids, let's have a good show.
I forgot we did that.
Did you do it while we were gone?
I did. I set my glass down, though. Last week, I had to do it to myself because neither of those idiots raised their glass.
Oh, very
So
good.
I cheers the bottle of Malort into the microphone.
All right. So typically, whenever we have midweek and weekend, we break it down by the midweek games and then the weekend games. But frankly, it's more about the collective stories that happened over the Boxing Day and holiday weekend. That's more about kind of jumbling it all together because I feel like there's three really kind of major stories. Well, one story is more major to you and I, but there's three major stories.
I'll be honest, because of the recent impeachment and all the politics in the news, it's all about narrative. That's what we're trying to push here.
Exactly. It's all about narrative. Then all the Liverpool fans, I'm sure, are saying Houston pushes fake news. So the biggest one is the league may have been actually finally for once decided in December. A league that's never decided in December.
No.
But
Even when people wrap it up early, never in December.
right, and it looks like Liverpool can't be stopped. Liverpool 4, Leicester 0, Wolves 3, City 2, Liverpool 1, Wolves 0, Man City 2, Sheffield 0. Reds flat out, they're on cruise control, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing could stop them. I know it was a dumb bet last week picking Leicester to beat Liverpool, but I figured I might as well put my money where my mouth is because I was honestly, really legitimately convinced there was going to be a game that Liverpool was going to lose. It was at the King Power to the Foxes. Now,
Especially as close as they pushed them at Anfield.
right, and that game was a lot closer until goal number 2 happened. The minute goal number 2 happened,
All the wheels came off.
wheels came off.
Absolutely.
And the goal number 2 wasn't until the 70th minute. So up
Right.
to that point, it was a tough fucking match.
Well, that being said, though, Leicester didn't register a shot on target the entire match. Allison had nothing to do.
No. I agree.
They only had 3 shots overall, just in general. Liverpool took 15 overall with 6 shots on target, scored with fucking 4 of them. That's ruthless.
Yeah.
That is absolutely ruthless. They also had almost 60% possession. And this was the one we were worried about, them coming back traveling from Qatar.
Yeah.
With those 2 extra games. Took their entire first team with them.
And they didn't even have their fancy little patch on their chest yet. They saved that till home.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just threw the wheels off the bus on that one, much like Leicester.
There's such shade. Speaking of Leicester, can you believe we met in the same pool in the same hour? Not one, but 2 gents from Leicester.
Really? Did you take some cards with you?
I did. I handed them out. So hopefully,
Not in the pool, though. Not in
well,
the pool.
Hey, listen to my show.
well, no. Hopefully, if there was anybody on the cruise who I did happen to give a card to, particularly Andy, who
Andy was fun.
was trying to definitely remember the name of the show and everything. Very funny gent from Leicester. And if Andy, you're checking us out, reach out to us on social so we know that you listened.
Yeah.
So
Do that.
Cruise buddies.
For 1 versus 2 clash, those statistics I mentioned, that's total domination.
oh, absolutely.
It really fell apart again, as you said, in 7 second-half minutes, where Liverpool scored 3, and Trent Alexander-Arnold for me solidified his place as the best right back in world football. Period.
yeah,
He's the best right back in the world. He completely dominated this game almost by himself.
Well, and then his 4th goal, that run down the line, Jesus.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and
60 yards, busting a gut to get there,
and put it away on the pass, 1 touch, back of the fucking net.
and
Like,
he rifled it.
that just
Laser beam.
that's
That was
not
fantastic.
fair. That's just not fair. That's as a soccer player, as a keeper. That's just when you just look at it, you go, "Fuck off."
Yeah,
fuck
right.
off.
He didn't even really celebrate. He ran in the corner, folded his arms like,
Yeah, I'm that
Fucking-
good.
I'm
I'm that good.
bask
You
in
worship
my
me.
fucking glory. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I tell you, you see right now the top 3 are on just cruise control. They're working well together. Firmino seems to just do a great job of holding the ball in the center and divvying it off to Salah or Mane. It doesn't matter what combination they're using in the midfield because they're doing a lot of squad rotation in that midfield. It works. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who it is. It
They're
works.
so well drilled. They know their fucking jobs.
And then it does not matter who's next to Van Dijk. They excel.
Because it's Van Dyke.
You know, it was Matip till Matip got hurt. Then it was Lovren got hurt. Now it's Gomez who was supposed to be at the beginning of the season, but those other 2 guys were playing so great he couldn't get a fucking minute.
Absolutely.
Now he's getting time.
Yep.
And then you have probably the best left and right back in the biz in England right now. And in fact, they proved that because probably the second best left and right back in the biz, was on the other side of the field, and Ricardo and Chilwell,
Yep.
and they got worked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, with Alexander-Arnold, just pin Chilwell back the entire time. You also have Mo Salah on that side. Mm-hmm. So there was just too much to do, and the left midfielder for Leicester was not helping out as much as he should. And they just ran Leicester ragged on that side, especially on that right side.
So all that being said, City just needs to go ahead.
Soyuncu, how unlucky. That's not a penalty for me.
Yeah.
He knew. I mean, what didn't help? He kind of leaned into it, but I wonder, it was Johnny Evans, right? It jumped and didn't get to it. I don't know how much Soyuncu knew about it. Honestly, I think he already left his feet before the ball got there.
Yeah. And he was just leaning into it.
It was just leaning.
He leaned into. Unfortunately, his lean makes it a handball.
Makes it a handball. Correct.
And Milner is just stupid.
Dirty.
Do you see how he took that penalty kick? It
hits his
hit
heel and goes the other direction.
Heel.
Yeah.
He purposely misses it with the front of his foot, hits it off of his fucking heel.
Yeah. Dirty.
That is the nastiest penalties I've like.
Dirty.
Pirlo, when he used to do a little chippy. No.
Oh, the Panenkas, yeah.
That's fucking sick. I mean, it's Evertonian here, given due when it's deserved, and that was just amazing. Now, all City had to do was win to keep pace, and all they had to do was protect a 2-0 lead to keep pace.
All Ederson had to do was stay on the fucking field.
And all Ederson had to do was stay on the field, and none of that fucking happened.
That was pitiful.
What the fuck was Ederson thinking?
Gazaniga is what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Just less stylistic. Gazaniga wins for all the style points for what he did last weekend. But a straight red after 11 minutes. Maybe thinking Gazaniga got away with it. So if I look like I'm trying to get out of the way, no one's going to send me off.
Yeah, except for you left a body part behind, which let us all know, no, you weren't trying to get out of the way.
Too bad, my son. That's right.
I got to tell you, that's my philosophical problem with the sweeper keeper. Now, granted, I was a keeper who did not come off the line because, let's just state, I am a man of larger carriage and not really fast enough to come off the line.
Come on. Give yourself some credit. Hashtag quick fat.
Heard. But the sweeper keeper, because they play so high off the line, does not give themselves the situation that if there is a fast break, to slowly come off the line, to slowly break down the angle, to slowly make the attacker overthink it and fuck it up, which is something that can be very easily done. When you're automatically just bum rushing out for the ball, if it means 50-50 ball, it means you might foul him. And if you foul him, I mean, it could be a soft foul. Gazaniga's side should have been a red. It's last defender. That's a red card.
Yep.
It's not debatable. So that's the one thing I don't get with the sweeper keeper. Now, law of averages, it's not going to happen very often. And in more cases, you're going to clear a ball away with no problem.
But
is that one time worth it?
Here's the thing. It doesn't happen very often. It happened 3 times in 3 different games this past week.
Exactly. And then it also happened to Allison just a few games prior when
that's
he
true.
did the handball.
With the handball. Yeah. He didn't clean the player out, though. Not like these three.
But it was still a sweeper keeper in no man's land.
Correct.
Because the first instinct is when that ball goes long
is to go get it.
Is to go get the ball when that might not be the smartest of answers. The smarter answer may be keep your ass home. And you remember, it's the striker's job to score.
Yep.
And it's very easy to get into their head.
Absolutely.
You know?
Raheem Sterling put City up, obviously. VAR correctly gave a penalty for a stamp on Mahrez's foot.
Yeah.
Patricio saved the thing. Sorry, encroachment. We got to retake that.
And what's funny is
Patricio saved the fucking thing again.
De Bruyne was ahead of the guy who gets called for the encroachment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, I just don't
But he wasn't the first player to touch it.
I just say if there's double encroachment,
just wash it. Yeah.
Just wash it. It doesn't count. And also it's for all the amount of times we talk about how luck of the draw always seems to go Liverpool's way, that is absolutely 1,000% a case where luck went City's way.
Oh yeah. I'd agree with that. Sterling scored again.
Yep.
Excellent fucking finish that. Just to chip over Patricio as he was running full speed. For everything that Jesse Lingard's wasn't a couple of weeks ago, this one was. Absolutely spectacular.
And then the second half happened.
And then our Adama Traore went into Hulk mode.
AKA the little linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that man was a one-man wrecking crew.
I'm not sure what Benjamin Mendy was doing for the final. No, the second.
Yeah.
The equalizer. Dwelling on the ball like that with somebody as fast and strong. Adama Traore just put his shoulder into him. Mendy was bumped off the ball like 4 yards. Adama Traore just
you would have thought he picked him up and like suplexed him.
Oh, yeah.
He went that far.
He picked him. He just pickpocketed him and then slid the ball across fantastically for Jimenez.
Yeah,
but his own goal, the one that started the comeback, was phenomenal. The venom on that ball. Claudio Bravo wasn't in the best of positions either, but the venom he hit it with just kissed the inside of the post.
When are people going to realize he can shoot from the outside?
Right.
It's like 3 goals he's had this season, and in every single one of them, you're like, why are you giving him space?
And they all look like they're going to rip the net off.
Why? Stop it. I mean, he almost did it against Liverpool when we get to that game. He almost did it too. It's like, do not give him
shrugging
any
off 4
fucking
players.
room. Just do not give him room. He can and he will shoot from there and he will score from there because he's proven it.
And in that Liverpool game, too, the 4th player, when he kind of faked the shot, I've never seen a professional so scared to take a hit in my life. But I think it was Wijnaldum. Jumped, turned his head, had his hand on his balls, hand over his heart, like, no,
I'm going to die.
Don't hit me. And and then finally, a lovely little bit of skill from Raul Jimenez. Kind of gets played a wall pass by Dalwhinnie. Stops it with the underside of his foot. Kind of turns to his left. Dalwhinnie runs off his right, and he just rolls it back with the underside of his foot. Dalwhinnie quick feet to get around Otamendi, who should have just cleaned him out. Instead, he tried to tackle the ball from him. It's got to be stronger than that, more decisive than that. And then again, Patricio was outside of his 6 with a man running at him from the edge of the box. It was just didn't seem to be in the right position for me again.
Right.
Also kind of far left, looking from the goal side, the goal camera on the replay.
Right.
And Dalwhinnie found the winner very late on. So well done to Wolves. They deserve it.
So moving then on to Wolves' next opponent. Tough week.
Claudio Bravo's fucking terrible, by the way.
Oh, he's very bad.
Good.
So moving on to to their second opponent of the week, they go ahead and go what? They have City. No, they went to City, right? They beat City at the Etihad.
No, it was at Wolves.
At Wolves, okay.
It was at the Molineux.
And then they went to
the Wolves went to Anfield.
Yep. I hate to say it. What was otherwise a really great contested game was yet again marred by VAR.
Well, yeah, it did play a massive part in this game. I think correctly, this is the thing with VAR. Correctly for Mane's goal, definitely hit his shoulder,
right?
Which is legal. There's no problem with that. It was used. It was called upon. It adjudged it to be a good goal. We move on with our lives.
Van Dijk didn't handle the ball outside of
fine.
midfield when the first ball came in. That long ball came in.
I didn't even know. I didn't see a replay back that far.
Right there, swung it in, put it right down to his foot, kicked it on to Lallana.
I didn't see it that far.
Yeah, and that
far behind the play.
The only reason why I say that is that other teams have been called,
of course,
for goals back that far.
Yeah. The replays that I saw, the highlights that I saw, I didn't see it back that
LIVERPOol does not get looked back that far. Yeah, and
now the thing that pisses me off.
LIVERPOol. I see what you did there.
The thing that makes me mad, the thing that really pisses me off, is the side of Matinho's boot. The stitching on his boot was offside. Did he gain an advantage from that? Really? You deny. Was it Pedro Neto? Right.
Yeah.
You deny him his first goal,
right?
For literally the logo on the boot.
Yeah.
If he was wearing remember the old Nike Vapors, the real thin ones. If he was wearing those, he'd have been onside.
Whatever happened to even his on?
What? No, the side of his foot was supposedly hanging over.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's millimeters, really.
I think that's something that the FA and just football in general needs to take a look at. If VAR is going to make that kind of a decision on offsides, I think we need to start considering a body part,
Right.
like the ball and a goal line.
Yeah.
The whole foot has to be past the defender.
Not even,
otherwise they are onsides.
Do it like hockey. It's only by the feet.
Mm-hmm.
And if one part of you is on, all of you is on. So treat it like the blue line in hockey. You know how hockey players will like do a split almost,
right?
Just to keep one skate on the other side.
Yeah.
Treat it like that.
Yeah.
Do that.
It feels like you're not really helping the pace of the game, the intent of the game at all when we're going down to the side of a person's foot, especially when all the other rules of the game equal a complete crossing over. In order for the ball to be out, the ball has to go completely over. In order for the ball to be a goal, it has to go completely over. Like it just, and this is the thing that the most minute part can make you offside. And again, it feels almost like C.S.I. VAR, like the VAR official is looking for the most minute thing to be wrong.
And it's how many times have we talked about the armpit? You know,
yeah,
it's somebody's hair because it's a part of the body you could score with.
You said it best. Where does this create a true advantage in that play?
Right,
it did not create any advantage in that play whatsoever
at all. And it's not in the spirit of the game. And again, you deny this guy his first goal for the club, who trains hard, who comes in and does his job every day, and you deny him that's the emotion of the game. That's what we love about this game. The goals are the best part of the game.
Right. Why take away from it?
That's why we're here. Why are you looking for nitpicky little... If someone cheats, yes, fine. But why are we looking for nitpicky little bullshit?
Yep.
That's ridiculous to me. And it's the same thing. Salah's kneecap was onside, but the Nike swoosh was off for João Moutinho here.
Right.
Or, like, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's got to be in the spirit of the game. The other thing I think is one thing that might fix it a little bit is no stopping of the play and doing the lines anymore. If the VAR can't see it in real time on that replay, fuck it.
Yeah. Or even if they pause it and they can't see it, but they can't do the lines. Just pause, eye test. If you don't see it, it's on.
Another podcast we both are familiar with brought this point up, which I thought was excellent. The laws of the game were written before VAR was a thing, and the laws haven't been changed to fit into a VAR system.
Right.
Right? So you can't just, as the Premier League, decide we're going to change offsides in our country to do this. That's not how it works. Those laws are decided.
FIFA has to decide those laws.
VAR is handled by each individual association and how they use it. Italy, they go to the monitor. Germany, I think they go to the monitor. Premier League refuses to use the monitor and acknowledge their existence, even though we can all see them there plugged in.
Right. Are you sure they're plugged in?
They're definitely plugged in.
Okay. What a waste of electricity.
Tell me about it.
They should be greener.
The IFAB, the International Football Advisory Board, or whatever their thing is, they're the ones that come up with the laws of the game. And those are worldwide. That's how the game is fucking played.
Right.
So they all need to sit down together and figure out how to either alter the laws to fit VAR or fix VAR to the way the laws are written.
Yeah, I think it's VAR's job to fix
Absolutely it is,
the way
but
that the laws are written.
they're sucking the life out of us. It's sucking the fucking life out of us.
Covering the final game real quick. Sheffield does the bend don't break, but unfortunately it finally broke. They were also again City lucky with VAR. I mean, I sit here. I'm the first proponent to sit here and talk about how Liverpool gets all the calls. 2 instances this weekend, this past week, both games, City was helped out by VAR that ultimately would have hurt them at the time when it was, called against them,
Liz Mousset's goal, obviously.
So it just, there really wasn't a ton to say about it because it was a pretty cut and dry game. It was Sheffield packed it all in, tried to counter when they could, tried to show as much energy as they could, and City controlled the entire fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time for the deadlock to come because normally City's pretty good about breaking down those teams. But Sheffield United, again, gave a great account of themselves defensively. They're very organized. They worked their socks off. And we saw by Mousset taking his chance, they had that counterattack. They were 1-0 up had it not been for VAR.
Yeah.
And I think he actually was a proper step offside.
Oh, he was. He was offsides. But
So,
again,
yes, it was correct.
You know, when
But
we point out that it helps Liverpool, we should point out that it helps other teams as well.
Well, absolutely. When you point out that it helps Liverpool.
Despite the fact, you point out that it helps Liverpool all the time, and in fact, they're about to fuck with your invincible streak, so you're going to find yourself a real big Liverpool hater now.
We'll be fine.
You'll be fine. We'll see.
I have a feeling. When they get it wrapped up, he's going to start putting people in so they'll get Premier League medals. They'll fuck something up.
Heard.
But yeah, no, Michael Jordan always got the calls when no one else did. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant always got the calls when no one else did.
It's very true. Alex Ferguson used to always get the calls back in the day.
They named stoppage time after him.
You know, it always seemed to work out for Manchester United.
They always got a penalty at home every fucking game.
This year, it always seems to work out for Liverpool. It's just what it is.
And City.
So, Sam, is it the new manager bump or is it the new manager bump? We have Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1, Everton 1, Burnley 0, Everton 2, Newcastle 1.
You want me to get my shit out of the way real quick?
Arteta takes over, but the Gunners don't bounce. Go for it.
So, the results don't show a bounce, no. The performances themselves do show a bounce. They look more organized. They're actually harder to break down. The Bournemouth goal was, I believe, a Mustafi error, or maybe it was Socrates. Somebody was on the wrong side of the striker, but individual error. And then Berleno let Chelsea back into that game with his error.
Yeah, it was a bad
in addition to the referee failing to make a decision. And Arsenal didn't keep hold of the game. They came out a little lackluster after halftime.
Yeah.
But we were organized. Aubameyang, Ozil, running back on defense. Aubameyang had 4 slide tackles in a span of 12 minutes on that left wing, helping out makeshift left back Sacco. Bukayo Saka, sorry.
Yeah, Saka.
And Ozil, a couple of tackles, pressing. The team looked organized. They knew their jobs. They worked their socks off. Defensively, we're just shit. It's still going to happen. No manager in the world could fix that. You could bring in whoever you bring in. Sam Allardyce couldn't fix our defense. Just absolute dog shit. But and Bernd Leno hasn't made a super amount of mistakes for the amount of action he's seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you chalk off Leno's as that's a every once in a while.
Now the announcers made a stat that said that since the beginning of last season, because of that error, he's now overtaken David De Gea as the player that's made the most mistakes that's directly resulted in goals at 7.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, between all the top keepers, Aretha Balaga, Kepa, the big 6.
Yeah. Leno's faced the most shots.
Leno's definitely faced the most shots.
And in the instance of Ederson or Allison, he's probably faced double the amount of shots they've faced.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, easily.
So my point is you can't really blame Leno. Everyone gets one, right? And, yeah, he fucked up. That being said, Jorginho shouldn't have been on the pitch.
No.
But that's beside. He also fouled Torreira in the build-up. VAR looked at it and told us to fuck off.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Grabbed him and threw him to the ground.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's been called back for a goal on multiple occasions with other teams.
Yep.
Crystal Palace was the most notable against Liverpool.
Correct. You're absolutely right.
Where they said he pushed a player over and they took away the goal.
Yep.
How is that any different than Jorginho grabbing a guy and pushing him to the ground?
Correct.
Any different?
Now, it does not absolve Bernd Leno from his mistake.
No, of course not.
But the energy levels are better. The spirit looks better. Everyone was celebrating together when Aubameyang scored. They were trying shit. Through balls were happening. Runs were being made. They weren't lethargic. They were moving the ball quickly. They were playing together.
Okay, then why the fuck didn't you beat Bournemouth?
Our defense is just shite. We found ourselves behind again chasing the game.
Okay.
So I'm just from as apathetic, turgent as our performances have been over the last 2.5 months,
There's something positive.
there's something positive to take from this and something to build on. And if I know he got named head coach, not manager, so I hope he has a say in transfers, but you have to imagine that if he's allowed to bring in his type of players or whatever and into a system that works, and you have a couple of center backs that come in either in January or next summer, and
Right.
they fix that, we have a basis to work from now.
Do you think he can work with Holding and Chambers and get them to be the center backs he wants?
Chambers looked great until he got hurt. It was 25 minutes in or something.
Right.
And that's when and then Frank Lampard actually, to give him credit, astutely changed his tactics, brought Jorginho on, saw that they weren't in control of the game, and brought on the most possession-based player in the Premier League. Holds the single game passing record.
Conte?
No, Jorginho.
Oh, Jorginho, sorry.
And then, so did that, right? And completely changed the game. From that point forward, Chelsea were in control.
Yeah.
So, again, we didn't wrestle the control from them. We didn't keep hold of the game, grab it by the scruff of the neck after that, and we should have. That's true. But overall, I think our performance, that first half was the best half we've played all season.
How, if you go to Trafford and beat United, which, let's face it, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
Who knows what Manchester United team is showing up each week? If you do, how big do you think that'll bolster the Arsenal team?
That'll be huge. It also, the manner in which it happens. Is it a hard-fought 1-0? Or is it like a barn burner we escaped with a 4-3?
Right.
Either way, it gives us some confidence, either going forward or, whatever. But if it's a hard-fought 1-0, you kind of look around. Even if it hurts and you're sore and it sucks, well, you look around in that locker room afterwards, battered, beaten, bruised, bleeding, and just look at your brothers in arms. You're like, yeah, we fucking did that. That galvanizes a team. That's something, that gives your defense something to do. But we're not going to shut United out. Let's start there.
And how much will it kill you when you then lose to Leeds that weekend in the FA Cup? Withdrawn, sir, withdrawn. New signs of life from Everton.
Oh, yeah.
Biggest stat that I could throw out there. Averaging under Marco Silva between 11 and 15 shots in a match. That's the most, right? Now, this isn't shots on goal, but shots. 2 games under Carlo, 21 shots and 22 shots. A showing of wanting to attack the goal, not just pass it around the 18 and try to cross it in.
And who crosses in for no fucking reason.
And look for a perfect header. This was giving the guys the ball on their feet and telling them to go find goals.
Yes.
This is telling your striker, get in front of the net and shit will happen and go your way. And what happened? That striker scored 3 fucking goals this week. And how did he score them? Right place, right time, getting his fucking body on the ball and putting it in the back of the net. You saw a manager that was willing to change his formation and change his style. Opens with what you think is going to be a 4-4-2, but then because you're like, why is Sidibe playing right midfield? No, he's actually going with a 3-back system and having a right back and Seamus Coleman play one of those positions because he wasn't confident in Michael Keane, so he wasn't going to put Michael Keane out there.
Right.
And then rework the lineups throughout the game to then be like, that in that game it was like a 3-4-3, and like just the willingness to change throughout the game, the willingness to put players on the pitch, starting Moise Kean in a game. Did he do great? No. But does the kid learn from it? Yes.
Well, not even just that. He provided another option, right?
Right.
And some of the skills, some of the step overs, the strength he has. He's a big lad. And it just gave the defenders something else to think about.
Right. Well, and what does Moise Kean see from doing that week is that, the striker is scoring goals and the other striker up there with him scores goals a lot too. Now I understand why I'm not playing all the time.
Right.
Now I understand that I'm going to get opportunities. When I get those opportunities, I better fucking take advantage of them.
He would have scored had it not been for a flailing Dubravka save. He smacked the shit out of that ball in that Newcastle game. Moise Kean.
It's funny. Dubravka made up for his United performance because against United, and we'll talk about it later, but a very un-Dubravka kind of game.
Yeah, for sure.
And he really made up for it in this one, the second game against Everton. But
Yeah, but had it not been for that, Moise Kean would have been off the mark.
yeah, absolutely. And they're just, you know what? For the month of December, we finished. We started with 2 losses. After that, in our next 15 available points, we got 11. No losses under Ferguson or Ancelotti. Like the team, and it's not like we're any healthier. A few players are back, but there's still not a lot of depth.
There's again, as I said about us, for under Marco Silva, and I don't know if it just got stale, if the tactics, the players just didn't believe in it or what, but you looked apathetic and lethargic. There was no energy. There was no plan. There was no, verve. There was nothing. There was no enthusiasm. What are you looking at me like that for?
I just think you've used every adjective to describe pathetic and lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point. But under Duncan Ferguson.
I like no verb. I'm like, ooh, good word.
under Ferguson, you got that heartbeat back into the club.
Yeah.
It was almost, you got the paddles, and Ferguson was just standing there like the EMT, and the club's dying off, and he shocks you, and now you're right back in it.
Can Villa borrow him?
Yeah, loan out the manager. And then Carlo himself in his autobiography, talking about like, what do you do when you take over a new club? How do you find it? Blah blah blah. He said, you always keep one of the previous coaching staff. You always keep one because you need someone the players are familiar with, someone to keep them on side, and someone to make them believe in the new guy they don't know.
That guy's Duncan.
That guy here is Duncan.
Well, and that guy Duncan, he's a loyalist.
Yeah, and we're going to get rid of him anyway.
So on a side note,
The ball boys would strike.
but Carlo knew it was up. There was a goal. He hugged a ball boy.
Carlo looks better in the suit than Dunk does too.
Yeah, well, he knows how to wear a suit. He's an Italian. He knows how to wear a suit.
Like that cardigan he's got underneath of it as well.
So this day, back in 1997, one Mr. Duncan Ferguson scored the first all-header hat trick in a game.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I saw that today. I
That
was
can't
very
be
happy.
ever.
But no, the first. I said the first in the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
Yeah, the first
Okay,
in the Premier
that's
League.
fine.
Yeah.
Somebody's had
There's
to have
so
done
many
it.
qualifiers to make that statement
Yeah,
true.
Somebody's had to have done it.
Fuck off, big dunk.
Now, wait a second. I didn't get a chance to make my funny.
Okay, make it funny.
You want to do it? I'll hit the ice again for you.
No, it's okay.
All right.
That Calvert-Lewin winner at Newcastle
Uh-huh.
fucked my bet. That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I think Ancelotti's eyebrow willed it in from the sideline. Do you smell what Ancelotti's cooking?
He wrote that one and desperately wanted to make sure it got shoehorned in.
Taylor's going to have to meme that one for us.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into the next segment, like the good tyrant that I am. The relegation battle has grown
gonna
some
let that go.
legs, as it has seemed to tighten up with some timely wins and some timely losses. Villa 1, Norwich 0, Watford 3, Villa 0, Watford 1, Sheffield 1, Norwich 2, Spurs 2, Southampton 2, Chelsea 0, Southampton 1, Palace 1, Palace 2, West Ham 1,
Get in there, you Eagles.
Leicester 2, West Ham 1, Brighton 2, Bournemouth 0. Wow. Ran out of breath and started coughing by the end of that one.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot of games, but those games impacted what the bottom 15 the bottom 5 currently are 15
Bottom
through
15.
Sorry. The bottom 6 are 15th through 20th.
There you go.
So, Sam, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you the standings. And then I'm going to give you their goal differential, where it's at. And I'm going to give you a bullet point on each team. We can talk about the games within these bullet points, but what I want to kind of more focus on is the bottom of the table and what it's become for these 6 teams. So currently in 15th, we have Southampton on 22 points at a negative 14 goal differential. Bournemouth at 20 points with a minus 8 goal differential. 17th place, we have West Ham, 19 points with a minus 11 goal differential.
New manager.
Yes, which we will get to. Aston Villa, 18 points, minus 11 goals. Watford, 16 points at a minus 18 goals. And Norwich, 13 points at a minus 19. So Southampton seems to get the big wins and the big points when they need to, and they had a really good December, which is what they desperately needed.
Yeah, absolutely. For everything that they did, Villa failed to do, basically. Because there were a lot of 6-pointers over this period, and Southampton won, I think, both of them and drew another.
Yeah. Well, and then Villa wins one, but it ended up being just to keep pace with the Joneses.
Right. And and Southampton also, I forgot about that. Southampton picked up the win against Chelsea.
Yeah.
So bonus points, right? A game that, as a club of their stature and their standing, would at the beginning of the year just earmark as a loss, right? They came out at Stamford Bridge and stomped them 2-0.
Yeah.
So big. Goal differential is going to play a big part in this too.
Absolutely.
So Villa's only in the relegation zone is only 4 points behind Southampton, right? So Southampton goes on a little bit of a skid. They've got a couple of teams. Villa picks up a couple wins. Villa still have 3 goals better than Southampton at the moment.
Right. That's big.
Absolutely.
That's big.
You win and a draw. Southampton 2-game losing streak. Villa's out. Southampton's in.
Right.
Bournemouth, best goal differential of the bunch at the bottom with only a -8. But again, it's only 3 goals.
Right.
You could pick that up kind of easily, especially the way Bournemouth are playing at the moment.
That was what I have listed here for Bournemouth. Bournemouth, quietly in trouble. Nobody's noticing it because everybody likes, how and the team and who they are and the vitality, and they feel like they're established. They're legit in real deal trouble.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
They didn't have the hot start they normally have.
Nope.
And they're having the nosedive they always have.
Yep.
They could seriously, by the end of February, suddenly find themselves in 19th place and not know why.
Absolutely.
Very, very quickly. West Ham is in a full-blown free fall.
Not anymore, mate. Got some Scottish steel in there now.
Yeah, they got Moisey. David Moyes is an interesting situation because obviously...
Wait, we forgot the disclaimer.
Yeah.
We forgot the disclaimer. West Ham fans, if you're not excited about this appointment because we're going to gush over it because there's undoubtedly going to be good material, just turn it down for about 5 minutes.
Now,
It's going to make you upset.
so
Namely Chris.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's a bad appointment. I do, because don't go back to the well because it doesn't favor you. We just saw that with Watford earlier in the year. It doesn't fix the problem.
No.
Now,
That being said, he did do pretty well there, and apparently the Dildo brothers are at odds over this appointment.
yeah, one of them wanted
In
him.
general,
and one
one
of
of
them
them- right.
didn't. One of them never wanted him to leave.
Exactly. So it's almost like you done well, but thanks for your services. We want to be a little bit more attractive commercially and blah, blah, blah.
Well,
and
you
try
saw
to kick
you
on
saw
and
that
move-
again
move
with
forward.
with Big Sam. Big Sam was quietly putting him at 10th place, but that wasn't good enough. They wanted to be sexy. They
Right.
wanted to play better, so they needed to appoint a fancy hiring. What did they end up doing? They had to fire that fancy hiring to get David Moyes to keep him out of fucking trouble.
Exactly.
Now, granted, that year that they stayed out of trouble, they had 3 utter and complete shit teams below them in in Stoke, Swans, and West Brom.
Yes.
And if West Brom had had one more month, they would have passed West Ham because West Brom made their manager change and really came on strong at the end and almost survived.
West Brom with Slaven Bilic's old manager at West Ham.
Yeah.
They're killing the championship right now.
Yeah, they're tied with Leeds right now at the top of the table.
Only
Leeds,
2 losses all
yeah,
season.
Leeds is on top by goal differential,
West Brom,
but yeah,
yep.
them and West Brom are 1 and 2.
Leeds had
and
that scares
and-
the shit out of me for Friday.
Yeah, and running away with the fucking league too, those 2 teams.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's well behind them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fulham's in 3rd, by the way.
Yeah,
They-
but well behind them.
Leeds just won a 5-4
Yep,
against Birmingham.
yep.
So it scares the fuck out of me for Saturday for the FA Cup. But
So
yeah.
with West Ham, you almost feel like too good to go down, but
That's the most dangerous phrase in football, man.
precisely because Fulham was too good to go down and Fulham went down.
Exactly.
I do think there is a little bit of a hard knock on Moyes because everybody only seems to remember Manchester United Moyes, and they don't remember the Moyes that coached Everton and made them consistently the 5th through 7th place team for 10 straight years for the most part.
Well, apparently neither does David Moyes. Did you hear his press conference?
No.
He feels like he's home
Oh, yeah.
with
yeah.
West Ham.
Oh, yes, I did hear that one. I'm
He
sorry.
coached you for 10 fucking years. Took you to 4th place.
Well, it's because he had that speech already written when he thought he was coming back to
Yeah,
Everton.
that's probably true.
And then didn't get it.
Well,
And went
yeah,
just,
why bother?
I already got those
Yeah,
set up.
I already wrote it.
So-
Fabianski in this one, double fist punch right to the chest of, was it Damari Gray he hit or
Yeah.
Iniacho? One of the two. But that was the latest in the Gazzaniga-esque challenges.
Now, you say you bring on Moyes for defense, right? To help ensure the defense. I think your defense just got secured because Fabianski's back.
As long as he doesn't do that kind of shit. Well, however, he did save the penalty he gave up, to be fair. Lucky to stay on the pitch, though, to be honest.
You're pouring 2 shots there because you kind of glazed over his shot.
I just figured we'd do it together.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. People in the Villa group are quite whiny little babies.
Uh-oh. Don't alienate people yet.
I'm calling them out for babies. They're all talking about Dean Smith needs to go, and they're even calling for Big Sam to get hired.
Sam Graham?
Dare
I say?
a bottle of Malort?
Yes, you did. Villa is being very Arsenal TV-esque.
Oh my God!
Right
It's
now.
so much
I was just about to
drama.
say, if you think they're babies,
Such little babies.
jump on Arsenal Twitter and just read the last 3 months worth of shit.
I'm a Redskins fan. Nut up. One guy, Simon, I'm going to try to book him for the show. He's the guy that does the Malort shots for the win. The guy from
Right.
Chicago. I'm trying to book him. He introduced me to a new phrase, grow up and wobble your own bollocks.
There you go.
So I was like, I like that.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be a soundbite.
Yeah,
Yep.
I need that.
Villa's in real trouble.
Yep.
Oh, it's not pretty. Let's
Without
not
a defense,
pretend. I'm
they're not going to
worried.
do anything. And-
I'm not worried.
How
still.
long is
But that's
Mings
where
out for?
that's where Big Sam comes in, is to organize the defense, and regardless of who's back there, you're going to be better than you are right now.
Right.
That's
Just
what Big
signed
Sam's
Dean
good at.
Smith to a contract extension last month.
You still can fire him. It doesn't matter.
You got the Premier League money, man.
You pay him. You pay him, and you.
You pay him out. You could structure that payout how you want to.
I will say I was a little surprised, though. I know it was from last week's show, but when we did our preview of it, I said the Villa supporters were not going to let their team down when they were playing Southampton.
Oh, they let them down.
And they let them down.
That was sad.
They were booing them, and I was very surprised
Oh,
by that
yeah.
because that seems very unlike Villa to not be 1,000% behind their club, even in the worst case scenario. I was a little surprised by that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And especially after the 1-0 win against Norwich on Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
You figured, hey, maybe it's 6-pointer. They won it. They got through it. Wasn't pretty, but they
Hey,
got
you.
through it.
You want one of these?
Oh, I
you should
don't.
pass
I'm
one
gonna
to
pass.
Sam.
Hold on, I'm gonna see which
So
one's
one has
bigger.
more. Thanks.
Yeah, hold on.
But you think
Watch
they
her. She'll pour some into one.
and that was a
Get those glasses above the table.
a little bit of false hope there.
Yeah.
That win, because then you turn around at Southampton, another 6-pointer, and
I mean, it was
Bubkiss.
It was. It
Well,
was
no, that was
pathetic.
the Watford.
or Watford. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was
Another
pathetic.
6-pointer and Bubkiss.
Yeah, it was
Try
a
it again.
pathetic match.
Bubkiss.
It was.
So
They'll
Bubkiss.
get it. They'll get it together.
All right, kids.
I'm not worried.
No one's
I'm not
acknowledging
worried.
Bubkiss.
I'm
yes,
not worried.
enjoy your show. Shot.
Enjoy your show. Right, you fuck off. Now it's our show.
It'll be our show next week.
That's right.
Yeah, because I'm the only one not doing a shot of Malort. Fuckos. So, here's the thing. Going into the last two teams, Watford is starting to dig themselves out of a hole, and Nigel Pearson is affecting that club. And he's affecting that club in the right way.
Yeah, he is.
Gutsy. They're gutsy.
They just
it seems like they
equaled-
give a fuck.
In terms of wins, they just equaled the same amount of managers they've had this season.
Yeah. Amazing. So, and then finishing up with Norwich, outside of their style of play, which will get them the occasional surprise point, I legitimately think they're dead man walking.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would
mean,
agree with that.
There will be the occasional, holy shit, they tied Tottenham 2-2.
Yeah. Or they beat City earlier in the season, or this, that,
Exception,
They'll probably
not,
beat us when we play them next.
exception, not the rule. I
Correct.
really think, because I think for the most part, everybody's going to beat them because, frankly, they just don't have any defense. And
No, not at all.
if
And
you have
Pookie's-
zero defense, you're losing.
The way Pookie started the season, everybody's like, oh, shit, they got goals in them. This is going to be great, blah, blah, blah. Todd Cantwell's scored here or there, but other than that, they don't really have a lot going forward. And Pookie has proven to be now very streaky.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're definitely the one going down.
Have we even talked Manchester United yet?
We're getting ready to.
Oh.
Finishing off the rest of the league in really just 3 games. Oh, so that happened. Man U 4, Newcastle 1. Man U 2, Burnley 0. Spurs 2, Brighton 1. United rebound after the Watford debacle, which, let's face it, that was a complete debacle on their part, particularly De Gea with that just god-awful fucking goal.
Yeah.
By the way, Scotch and Malort, no good.
No good. Heard. So Pogba's back. Mata's back. The league is wide open. Will they take advantage of this opportunity?
I'd say 4th spot's wide open.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. 4th through 10th is wide open. Anybody could have it. You know.
Yeah. That's
It's
true.
there. It's there for the taking.
There's still hope for me in 12th.
Yeah.
Mine 12th, right? Yeah,
Yep.
I'm in 12th.
Yeah. You're 12th. You're Sam.
Newcastle's above us. You're above us now.
I was going to say
Crystal
you are
Palace
firmly,
are above us.
You are firmly 2 spots behind us.
Sheffield United, Wolves, Tottenham, and United.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
they're way ahead of us. By the way, Sam, I was going to mention here, you notice we didn't really talk about Palace at all?
Yeah.
Because normally when we talk about the whole relegation battle, Palace's name is right in the middle of it.
Yep.
And we mentioned both of their games, and guess where they aren't?
In the they're in fucking 9th, mate.
9th place, cruising right along, man.
Yep.
I mean, Brad, I'd like to say more about you, but the boys are doing fine.
Oldest
you know?
manager in the Premier League, too. Roy Hodgson speaks 7 languages, and he's just a lovely old guy.
And they're cruising right the fuck along. And so it looks like they're going to probably hold on to Saha and be perfectly okay.
Now, he is starting to do old man shit, though,
Oh, yeah?
Roy Hodgson.
Oh, is he going to
So,
do some Neil Warlock shit?
No, not that bad. But apparently, like, pointing out obvious stuff.
Right.
So apparently there was a microphone shoved in his face.
That wall
before
is
he
made
was-
of brick.
before he was prepared to do so. And he was like walking over to congratulate, I think it was Jordan Ayew. And just when the final whistle blew, but Ayew was already doing an interview and a microphone got shoved in Hodgson's face and he said something to the effect of, not a direct quote, but something like, I was walking over to talk to Jordan, and then he turned around and he was already had the man of the match award in his hand, and all I could think was, that's a good decision.
Fabulous.
Thanks, Roy. Fuck. What you talking about, Grandpa? Let's get you some porridge back in the dressing room real quick.
You got me on that one. Same thing could be applied to Spurs that is being applied to United. It's there for the taking. Which one of them's going to take it, or which one of them's going to falter?
So the Premier League for the first time has a winter break coming in, I believe it's early February.
Right.
I think Mourinho's system is kind of complex in the way they transition from offense to defense, blah, 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 who goes, when they go, how they go, in terms of his past positions, right? At Inter, at Real, at
Right.
Chelsea, 2 times at United. I don't think he's had the time to properly implement what he wants to do.
And they're still getting points.
Right, but that's also why they look kind of helter-skelter, and you end up with a 2-2 against Norwich, but you just beat whoever it was a few days ago they beat that they shouldn't
Chelsea.
have.
No, they lost to Chelsea.
They lost to Chelsea.
But they beat Brighton.
They beat
they
somebody.
should have beat Brighton, though.
But yeah, but there's been a couple of results that they've gotten
Right.
that you're kind of surprised that they got.
Right.
Especially as turgid as they were for the last couple of months.
Right.
Anyway, I think Arsenal also, because you've seen them improve enthusiasm-wise underneath Arteta already. When they have that 2-week period where it's just training, you get them on a plane, take them to Dubai, take them down to Malaga, take them down to, some beach I've never heard of on the south of Spain. You get 2 hard weeks in the warm weather. You get time to truly implement that system. Maybe have a scrimmage against the local side if you can. I think you're going to see very different teams from mid-February on.
Could the same be said about Everton with Ancelotti?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I mean, as you said about your games, they were results. They weren't pretty results.
Yeah. He took what he had and he made sure he got points.
They were literally made, hey, this is our idea going forward, try to do this shit. But those results were made on the back of determination, hard work, and just a sheer Duncan Ferguson's will to win.
Yeah.
Right? So
and a manager who had in-game tactics because those in-game tactics worked.
Yes, obviously, it's a very layman thing that I said, but in essence, it's the hard work and determination and bringing the soul back into the club, right?
Right.
So, absolutely, 100%. You get them a little bit of warm weather training, you get them 2 weeks off from games, and you give these top-class managers, and I know Mikel Arteta is new, but he learned under Pep for the last 3 years, and he was also quite the tactician while he was a player. You give these guys chances, these teams are going to come out a little bit different.
Yeah.
They're going to come out ready to play, I think. I think the from mid-February on is going to be some of the most exciting Premier League football that you'll see, and that's where I think Liverpool's going to lose a game, and my unbeaten run is protected.
Heard. Now, one last thought. It was great pontification. I like
Thanks.
that. You do have to get yourself a gold blazer and bring in a bottle of champagne when they do lose and pull a Miami Dolphins for an entire
Now,
episode.
I don't have a gold blazer.
We can find you one at like Goodwill or something.
I have a silver blazer.
Good. It got to be the gold. Got to be the gold Hall of Fame like the Miami Dolphins. Got to do it like them.
I hate them.
Yeah, I hate them too because it's
Although they
the
did beat
Redskins.
the Patriots last weekend.
It's the Redskins who they beat to become the undefeated team. So of course I hate them. But anywho, we're flying off the handles here, and we got to get this done. And unfortunately, there's only prediction time and not much else to talk about after that. So don't worry, we're only going to be an hour 15, Mel. We're already at 50. We're already over 50. So
Just so you all know who the real Houston tyrant is.
I'm just living in a straight up oppressive regime here.
and yet she hit the mute button before I had a chance. That tells you where the pimp hand is, boys and girls. Brighton.
It's off color.
Brighton has been looking good so far this season, but we didn't mention 14th is Brighton. Last year, Brighton was doing great, and then in January, they couldn't get a win to save their life. In a heartbeat, they could be in the rest of this group.
Now, yes and no. They are 5 points above Villa, so yes, they can get sucked into it. But we spoke about goal differential before. -4.
Yeah.
They're miles in front of everybody else in terms of goal differential. They're playing decent football. They're organized, and they've added goals to their game, which is something Chris Hughton didn't have. They relied on 37-year-old Glenn Murray last year, and now he can't get a sniff.
Yeah. I don't expect it to happen, but it's there, and it
Oh, no,
should be
yeah,
in the
no.
back of our minds.
Yeah, they're only 5 points off the relegation places.
And-
So they definitely
and-
could, but I don't get the same. I have more confidence in them. I don't get the same shudder down my back, right? To be honest, I don't care about them, nor anyone else in the relegation zone for that matter. But if
Other
I was
than
a fan,
actively wanting to see Southampton go down.
well, that's true. But if I was in the supporters' shoes of those clubs, I wouldn't get the same shuddering feeling from Brighton that I do from the others.
Right.
Watford, they're starting to shake those shutters, but they were abysmal. They were sleepwalking to relegation, and Nigel Pearson's turning that around a bit. Let's see if he can continue it. Dean Smith, without Tyrone Mings, is sleepwalking to relegation at the moment, and something has to change at Aston Villa. Norwich, sleepwalking to relegation. Daniel Farke and his fucking topics in every press conference he does. He's got to fucking do something to turn that around, or he's got to go. They need some life. But Graham Potter, calm, cool, collected, organized, has a plan. You can see that plan. You can see what they're doing. He has a style, and more often than not, they're grabbing points from games.
And Arsenal, only two Mustafi fuck-ups away from walking into the relegation zone.
Yeah, you're right about that. But you jumped the gun again, my friend, because it was very important that we acknowledge Alireza Jahanbakhsh
For his first goal?
For his first goal that he almost fucking cried on the field for. Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty nice.
I love it.
And you're going to get relegated. It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time.
And us getting relegated means you know very little because that hasn't happened in 90 fucking years.
Kitty's on a roll, winning both this weekend. Rob missed both of his bets. Pat got greedy, added the kicker, which ended up being the loser. You split on both of your bets, and
But finished like $25 up.
yeah, you did that the last time you split on your bets and finished 15 up.
Baby
Yay, Sammy.
Baby steps.
Yay. How do we dig ourselves out of an $1,800 hole?
$25
This
at
is
a
the
time.
time, baby. And I'm on a 3-game loser. Like I said earlier, not smart of me to pick the Leicester game, but I wanted to put my money where my mouth was. I kept saying I thought that was going to be the game, so I put my money where my mouth was, and I was very fucking wrong.
Well, on 3-game losing streak, it sounds like you might put that shotgun in your soundbite where your mouth is too.
20% of the time, it still works 100% of the time, asshole, which is more than yours. So, Graham, finally, you're taking a little bit of a chunk out of the national debt and now sit at a negative 1487. What do you have this week for us, Sammy?
I got a doozy.
Of course you do.
A triple parlay
Nope.
loopy loop.
Nope. It's one very simple bet.
Little Sam's Crack Smoker of the Week.
Puff puff.
Pass. Oh, that's weed.
Red
That would
balls.
be my smoker of
No,
the week.
yeah. Crackheads don't pass the...
That's
No, they don't.
that's it. Your little soundbite's going to be David Chappelle. Red balls gives you wings.
Here. Say
Tyrone
puff, puff
Biggins.
again.
Puff puff.
Hoard. Get it? Because
I
they
do.
hoard the crack pipe?
Yeah.
Anyway, enough drugs for one day. I have Burnley versus Mel's beloved Aston Villa.
Uh-oh.
Burnley at home. What we said about their record against the Big Six clubs, conversely, against everyone else, is the
They
exact
win.
opposite. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they win.
Without Tyrone Mings,
We're
I
gonna
think
get bossed.
I think Villa is going to get bossed by the two most physical frontmen in the league in Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood.
Drew them 2-2 the
What's
last time they played
what's the
them.
over under on Jack falling on his ass?
There was no prop bet for that.
The under would
There
be
needs to-
1 because if it happens 0, that would be the miracle.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. What I have is Burnley versus Villa, exact score.
Oh, throw it at me. What you got?
Burnley to win 2-0.
Yeah.
Plus
I believe it.
750. Plus 750.
That's a good bet.
I toyed with 2-1 because y'all have scored goals,
Yeah.
but Burnley at home against opposition that's not the Big Six
Burnley typically doesn't give up
keeps a clean
goals.
sheet.
They
And
don't
Nick
give up
Pope
goals.
was in fine form last time out,
That's
Yeah.
the Wednesday game.
despite the loss.
That's Wednesday's game.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the
I'm
Wednesday
gonna be
early game.
So pissed off because I know we're gonna get Burnleyed, and it's at 7:30 in the morning, so I'm still gonna be drunk.
Yep, probably.
Happy
I also
fucking
toyed.
New Year.
I toyed with 1-0,
No.
and
no.
I feel like they're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
a second.
Oh yeah.
I just so 2-0 plus 750. I'm gonna half my debt
Okay.
in one fell swoop.
Or you're going to go slowly back towards Mount 1800. All right. So Josh actually reached out and sent us an email for a bet,
You
and
mean
I
DU star player Josh?
absolutely
We're on
afternoon
our winter break, so
afternoon boys and Mel. Since Big Sam is probably still
Hi,
drunk.
Josh.
All right, can I do the email? Thanks. Because you're stomping all over his really good writing, and I actually want to give the man credit. I mean,
you've said hello.
you can't give him much else credit because he's a Liverpool supporter. Since Big Sam is probably still drunk from the cruise, I figured I would try a little an assist to Little Sam in keeping his kneecaps. Brave money would be to bet Everton to beat Man City at 950, but that's a dumb bet, and I prefer Big Sam having less than half the points of Liverpool. Also, Pep won't let Carlo or Dunk anywhere near the ball boys. Instead, I prefer to bet against free-falling West Ham. As the Green Street hooligans taught us, they have a great firm, but mediocre football. So I am taking Bournemouth to get the win at plus 285. See you guys next week. Hashtag hope for Tegan's college fund. Josh Patterson, Drunkard United Football
So
Club.
is he donating his winnings to me like Pat tried to do?
We will have to get a confirmation on that, but it sounds very much like he is.
Yeah,
You're a charity case.
that's all right.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Okay, well, I got a little greedy last week, and it bit me in the ass. Yeah,
That's
you
what you
did.
get for trying to be like me.
Yep, if he just bet the 2 wins, he'd have gotten it. He picked the wins, just needed that extra goal. I would have told him not to take the over on a 2.5 between Burnley and United. I would have
told
said
you,
take the under.
Nick Pope played his ass off in that game.
You just know you take the under in that one. So since there's 3 NBC games on New Year's Day starting at 7:30 a.m. and 2 out of those 3 games have Arsenal and Everton playing, let's make a fun 3-game parlay and start this New Year's off right.
Maybe did Pat get that crack pipe?
Or wrong. So I'll take Chelsea at -110, Manchester City at -385, and Manchester United at -140. It'll pay out $312. So it's unfortunate that your teams have to lose for me to win. But hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and time for me to correct my slide.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
The shotgun.
Uh-huh.
Get it? Don't do it.
20% of the time, it works 90% of the time.
He
The
had
back
to-
end odds went down too. So
Yeah.
we got to
had
play
to-
the odds correctly.
He kept saying that over and over again on the cruise ship to my sister, and she thought that was the funniest shit ever.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying 20% of the
time,
time
it works
100% of the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
she loved it. We also learned your art is bad.
Your art's bad.
And she was talking to a Scot man.
Yeah.
A Scot
Yeah.
man.
Not
My,
a Scotsman.
A Scot man.
My,
He's a Scot man.
My Navy sister, the one that's a lieutenant, flies helicopters, got drunk at an art auction and proceeded to heckle the art auction.
Your art's bad.
Your art's bad.
does your art suck?
The auctioneer. You guys having
This
a
is
good time?
literally
No.
little old redfish.
Art's bad. God, it's worth that.
You know what? I've never felt more safe as an American.
So
and knowing she's sharing the skies with my cousin.
That's Lieutenant Redfish to you.
So Sam, I'm going to do the unthinkable, and I'm finally betting a parlay for the first time.
Jesus Christ. What is it with you and Pat?
Well, we see you constantly failing, and we got to figure maybe we can do it better.
Let's see who can lose the least. That's the goal. Oh, you know what? No, it's like golf. Negative scores good.
So I'm taking Palace to win at Norwich and Zaha to score at any time for plus 525. Norwich is in a free fall. Zaha's been finding the net recently, hitting them almost out of the hole. So the difference here is, Sammy, I'm going to show you how to actually bet a parlay, unlike the way you do.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How much money am I down?
You're down 1487.
That's how I'm going to say it from now on. I'm 1487 under par, Mel.
I like that. I like that.
Now, it is time to give this segment the time and effort it deserves. I give you Kitty the chicken. Hey, Mel,
Yes.
let it soak in a little.
What, the song or the dance? The sexy dance that you're doing right now? Oh, good Lord, help us all. All right, before
If I could reach that bucket of fried chicken, I'd be slapping
Okay,
its ass right
I
now.
see that bucket of fried chicken up there behind me. But I need to squash the rumor of Gertrude's demise. She is doing well, and she is in great spirits. I did count 3 chickens in the coop when I got home.
Yep.
Now, I want to,
VAR interjected and resurrected Gertrude.
you know, I went up and I visited Kitty.
And awarded Liverpool a penalty.
Always. And she was quite put off by the, quote, riffraff that bothered her last week. Now, after explaining that, why, yes, Graham and Russ are assholes, but they are our assholes, she relented and was ready to pick a game, so I gave her Wolves at Norwich. Now, Kitty told me she had an upcoming afternoon tea with try that again. Wimbledon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's the one. Winner, Andy Murray, and Led Zeppelin frontman, Robert Plant, both Wolves porters. And so Kitty feels they will win on Derby Day. I clearly am still drunk from the cruise.
On Derby Day, on that day maybe.
Oh, on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
What the fuck? It's a chicken. As always.
And by the way, just because Dom told me and I've corrected it because he told me, and Rob said it wrong and she said it wrong. It's Norwich, not Norwich.
Yeah.
It's not a Nor sandwich. It's a Norwich. Norwich.
Yeah.
Nah. As always, remember to gamble legally and responsibly.
Fuck your Anne Arundel County chicken for talking shit about me being riffraff. PG, bitch. So this is the second week of our 2-week winter break because of the way the holidays fell. So we will have a DU update for you lovely people 2 weeks from now, because we'll play next Tuesday
Yeah.
after the recording's done. So the following week, we'll actually let you know how we did.
Yep.
That's it.
By the way, the game you weren't there for, we had every opportunity to help out our own future. It was against the team we beat the season prior. We are now on this fun little bit of spotting everybody a 5-goal lead. We lost 8-3. How much did we lose by?
The same amount the week prior?
That 5. The exact same number we spotted them to start the fucking game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to win, and we need teams around us to lose to get into the playoffs for goal differential.
Well, stay tuned.
All right, well, that about wraps it up. Sammy, any parting words?
Yeah, real quick. We are going to do an FA Cup show preview real quick.
Absolutely.
Not a full preview. There'd be way too many goddamn games.
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
going to talk
Russ.
about like 8 or so games.
Yeah, but we will do that. Be released Thursday?
Yeah, we'll do it
Thursday.
tonight, release it Thursday,
Yep.
and that'll be free.
Whenever I feel like it.
That'll be a freebie show.
Yep. Also, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you will get injury time earlier than usual because the fucking games happen on Wednesday.
Get it tomorrow.
Yep.
Get it tomorrow, so it's all ready
A
for
lot
the
of
games on
listening
Wednesday.
fun on your New Year's Eve.
And thank you so much for joining us, boys and girls. Next up is, of course, Injury Time, as Mr. Graham mentioned. If you want to hear us get every game completely wrong, as we get drunker and dumber and say more ridiculous shit and talk about pastries in Prague, you can do that by checking out our Patreon. And that's not even the most, the highest dollar level either. That's just our mid-tier level.
Yep.
So for as little as $5 a month, you basically get an extra hour of show every week, and it helps us pay the bills. So till next week, everybody.
Hey, Happy New Year, guys.
Mel,
I am an independent, free motherfucking thinker.
and
I
that's
came
what.
back from vacation sassy.
No shit, she came back sassy.